Hi, ho everyone. My name is Mr. Fruit, and welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast episode where I'm back after my surgery. I have returned. I talk a good bit at length, maybe longer than I thought. I didn't
About
realize
your recovery from hell.
about my recovery. Yeah, how all that went before or after. We talk about some movies that have happened. They asked me a couple things, my opinions I missed out on. We started this podcast out with something before all that though, and I don't entirely remember. Oh, like some fan mail
Oh, your PO
stuff.
box.
A lot of
Your
fan
PO box.
mail.
Yeah,
A
my
lot of
orb
PO box
gunk
stuff.
and
Yeah.
the random
Go through your
stuff like
PO
that.
box.
Yeah. Uh, I've saved up yapping for 7 weeks.
Yep.
So
So
He's ready
if
for
you
it.
like Mr. Fruit yapping, stick around.
you'll be eating.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by Betterhelp. When we start getting really busy in this time of the year, things start falling through the cracks. Kids are starting back up their school, so you start putting your own priorities to the side. One priority you should never put to the side is therapy. My time with Betterhelp, they were nothing but truly professional. They showed me mechanisms for positive outlooks that I could look at in my career, my social life, my family life, every kind of aspect of my life. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast episode. Help me out here, boys.
39.
39.
239.
Okay, we'll take it. 239. Whether or not that's right, doesn't matter because what matters is
Is
we're
that you're
here.
back?
You're back.
And yeah, I'm alive. I survived. It's good to be
Congratulations.
back. Been like 7 weeks. Thanks for holding down the fort. Good news. Shouldn't be another break for. Well, I have no planned break, so shouldn't be another large swath of GG easy without me. If there is,
Nice.
because it wasn't planned. So hopefully it's nothing bad. But I'm back. Good to see you, gentlemen, again.
Yeah.
Like to introduce you to a new member of the family.
I was going to say, you've upgraded.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah.
That's a big
We got-
fella there.
We got Orb Gunk now. Long have we awaited Orb Gunk activated?
Where
Look
did
at
you
this
get
boy.
that?
And mail. This is my PO
Wow,
box.
that's amazing.
Fan mail.
It was shout out to Fudge. For y'all. I hope I can only remember 2 of the 3 names, which makes it even worse. Gymnastics, Jake, and Fudge. I'm so sorry I can't remember them, but you know who you are. I'll thank you later. It was actually the 3 people that did our Nuzlocke spreadsheet, Rob. The
Okay.
homies. Yeah, so they all pitched together. And one of them was at the Pokemon Go World Fest, I guess, or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, and saw this, and
Oh,
they all agreed to get it and pitch in and send it to me. So that was very nice of them.
that's amazing.
Got
I
a
like that.
big boy.
Yeah, real quick.
Except later.
Obviously, like you were AFK for a while.
Was.
And I did see that you were going through your PO box. Was there anything else in there that was cool or fun? Because I remember you sent us like a letter that was really nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I don't even know where.
Did you
The
go through it
stack of
after
all
or
the-
before your surgery?
After.
Okay.
And then Claire went there like a week after, and then I was going like every other week because people were still sending stuff. Like I just picked this up.
Does the PO box inform you when like it's full?
No, but it does inform me when someone sends like a package and you have a very small window, so that also motivates me. I'm like, fudge, because then they'll send it back. But like, I picked this up. I don't want to dox anybody.
Wow.
This was like Monday, so another round of. I haven't read these yet.
That's really cool.
But all the letters were very nice. Touching. Appreciate all the love and the support. There was I wish I had the letters on there in the SWAT. There's somebody who's just sending me weekly updates. Like, hey, I'll write you every week of every day, and they just write me every day and then just tell me what they're doing that day. It's
That's
nice.
nice.
Just kind of following
That's
along.
kinda
Like, so
cool.
anyway, I'll talk to you the next
Pretty
day.
wholesome.
It's like pen pal. It's like a pen pal
Yeah.
thing.
I'm not writing back though.
Bringing
My
it
bad.
back, bringing it back to the roots. You
Yeah.
just don't write back. Yeah.
Big commitment to write back, but I will
Yeah,
read.
there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, I read all of them. Really appreciate everybody that did. Saw a couple emails. I need to catch them all up on all those though, because it was harder because they're not all. It's just among all the other junk and spam and offers and blah blah blah. I need to find all those. But again, I really appreciate anybody who took the time. Or some people that sent stuff. You obviously didn't have to. But I got like, if I can show my mic.
Oh.
Need to like repaint this, but they 3D printed
Oh,
my
and it's like a magnet.
logo.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, it's like a little magnet. So I got
That's
that dude
fun.
chilling up here.
I like that.
Yeah, and then somebody made me. I think they run their own little key, like artisan keycap, but they
Oh.
made little watermelon fruit ghost.
That's so sick. What the
That's
hell?
sick.
Yeah,
That's
little
cool.
keycap.
That's
really
cool.
cool.
We like that.
What else? I don't have everything on me. Yeah, I don't know where I put everything, but a lot of cool little gifts, knickknacks. It's more like random, like Krogunk cards, Pokemon cards, or
Everybody knows you like
one thing.
Krogunk.
They do. I also feel like it's just a safe gift. You know, you
It's just a safe
you have that
gift.
person, yeah, that you know it's like without fail, just like give them one of these.
I will
Like,
say
just-
this, okay. So in my little thing here, at some point I may have you like take off your headset and like leave the room for like 2 minutes because I might show off my groomsmen's gifts that I've been working on all week.
Oh, okay.
And part of that was I was at a place and there was a Krogunk plushie in there, and I was like, oh, I could like get him that, but then I was like, that is way too safe. Like I was like, I guarantee you, like half the time he gets something, it's a Krogunk plushie. So I'm glad I was, it's not that like it's a bad thing, but it's like you
Yeah, I
can't go
don't
wrong
mind.
with that. You can't
Yeah.
go wrong with the Krogunk plush.
Yeah, well, so anybody listening who's like, oh, I was gonna get, I'll take
The
them.
more
I don't mind. Yeah, like,
your family's growing. How many Krogunks do you have of different varieties?
only plushies. I think there's only 2.
Oh, there you go.
No.
There you go. P.O. Boxers.
But yeah, like cards wise and stuff. I mean, I have practically all of them. Different
Is
varieties.
there any
but,
Krogunk memorabilia you don't have that off the top of your head?
well, I don't look. I don't know. Like,
Okay.
I never
I
actively
don't
seek.
look.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's like I'll be honest. If I knew this had existed, I probably would have bought it. Which is why I was like, oh my god, how did I not know?
Are there shiny Krogunks?
Hold on,
Like what color is he?
he's like a light cyan.
Yeah, it's like a cyan.
So not great.
Yeah. Like he's not like
It's pretty good.
yeah.
It's definitely
It's not the best shiny. It's not the worst.
Far from the
Yeah.
worst shiny.
Yeah.
That's not like Garchomp or
Like
whatever his name is.
like I can see a shiny Krogan and be like, oh, that's a shiny Krogan.
Okay. That's
Whereas there are some
sometimes all
shinies
you
where
really
it's like,
need.
yeah, I mean, I'll take like it was enough that Hunting and Arceus or whatever, like, you know, it's obvious like, oh my god. So yeah, I appreciate all of that. Oh, there's also you can't see it. Somebody now see this one, I'll say thank you, but also maybe not like in the future. For good reasons. They sent
sandwich.
me a Venus flytrap, a living Venus
no,
flytrap.
like, I don't like
I love
this.
it. They sent it as to me, but like, so I'll have you know, I went out and I got a pot, self-watering. I got some distilled water over here.
I don't like
I literally
Venus fly-
don't
those things are
have my,
gross.
I don't have my tapestry up so that it can get sun. It needs sun. But there's a reason I don't like get plants. I'm bad at keeping things alive, so I appreciate it, and I'm trying my hardest. But
hey, I
don't
like
fuck with Venus flytraps.
I like Venus flytraps because guess what they catch? Flies, baby.
Yeah,
It's
but
true.
like
mine,
it's like weird looking.
Too
There's
I
alive.
haven't
Is it
caught
too
nothing.
alive for you?
yes, very much too alive.
Okay,
for
got it,
me.
got it, got it.
Yes.
well, they gave me well, this is like the letter, but they gave me a whole rundown.
Good luck.
My first thing was like, what if I stick my finger in it? And as she's reading it, it's just like, please don't stick your finger in. I'm like, okay. Good thing I
Well, you know
didn't.
how those work, right?
Vibrations or something, and then they
Well,
just
like
go.
it closes, and once it like closes, it like releases like this acidic like bullshit, and then it like melts the thing, and then it eats it,
Well,
which is like or like
it
doesn't eat
wasn't.
it, but like
It's also really slow. I mean, the thing was, it can damage the plant more than me. That was the like. It
yeah,
won't hurt me at all, but the things on my fingers and the chemical, blah blah
yeah, definitely too
blah.
alive for me though. But hey,
Something wrong with
respect for you
mine.
trying. Yeah,
Mine's a little
we'll have
dumb.
a Venus. Have you named it?
Oh fudge. I think I did.
I
I
think
have
I
to ask
did.
Claire. She was there with.
She was there.
um, the the problem with mine. So like, it's it's a little slow. It'll get. I don't think it would have survived in the wild. It just keeps trying to eat the freaking soil. So like, especially when you're first putting it in, because you had to like transplant it and stuff, and then like a little chunk or like whatever, like as you're pouring it, got in, and then it's like, it's like, haha, I got it. It still doesn't let go. I'm like, bro, you're not. That's not food, man. And
Easy,
then
bro.
he like tried to swallow a second one. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? So
So
we're
how do you
working on it.
feed this thing?
Oh, you just water it. You
Oh,
don't
okay,
have
that's
like
it. You don't
it
have to give
said.
it bugs and stuff.
Yeah, it said like you could, but you don't have to. Um, it'll
I don't
just
want to watch things die. Like I don't like
vibe.
that.
Yeah, a couple of the heads are.
That's why I couldn't have a snake. I like snakes and stuff, but like I could never have a snake today because like I could never feed it like little mice and stuff. Like that is just too crazy.
Sad.
Like my day would be ruined. Like every time I have to feed my snake, my day is ruined.
Because somebody else's
So
days ruined.
so I have to ask, how was the entire like recovery surgery? I think some people might be curious on like how all that went. Were there
Yeah.
any like hiccups or anything like that, or did everything go pretty smoothly?
I'll have I think I'm gonna make like sort of update video here
Oh,
soon.
okay.
Talking about it and then also what's happening on my channel. So it'll be like a 2-for-1.
Okay.
But I can go through the TLDR and
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
Oh.
It was terrible. Yeah.
Was it as
That's
bad
the
as you thought or worse?
oh worse. Yeah.
Oh man, I was literally asking Claire about
Yeah.
it when we were talking, and I was like, "So how's it going?" And she's like, "Blue, it's fucking awful." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, boy,
So
it was
that
going.
Just I'll
bad.
leave you to it then. Have a good day.
Yeah,
all right, well,
Just let me know. Like
you ask her and then it's that the meme of like the guy in World War One or whatever with the helmet just like
yeah.
she was like, "Blue, he
Oh
is."
damn, she's trauma dumping
No,
on
no, no, no. It wasn't that. She was like, "It's been tough. He's fucking going through it." And I was like, "Okay, okay, okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. It's my
can
bad.
confirm.
It's my bad."
Yeah.
Yeah, at one point Cindy was like, "Have you texted Christian see how he's doing?" I was like, "I'm letting him
Yeah,
fight that.
I ain't
Like,
even
you know,
gonna.
I don't need to.
I'm gonna leave him.
I don't
A,
need to
Mind being-
rehash.
I'm gonna leave
things.
him a nice supportive message. I'm not gonna ask
Yeah.
that dude for shit. I am
I
just
did
going to let
see
him do
that.
his thing.
Appreciate it. I saw all the messages. That was one thing. Is like there's some people who are like, "Hey, I sent you a couple messages, but I didn't want to like send you too many." And I was like, "That's great because if you kept sending some, I feel like I have to send back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just nice to see like, "Oh, I'm glad they're thinking about me." Back into it. Um, and yeah, so I mentioned on stream. I don't think I exaggerate when I say it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done or
Wow.
had to go through. Wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. I'll tell you that much. But shout out to the hospital, yo. Apparently everybody gets these. Oh,
And
life
those-
I would
use
hope you
this
get
every
that
day.
after
And
like an
those are high-
$80,000 surgery.
Dude,
Like,
why
I
is
would
it-
hope
But it's so
you
handy.
get a commemorative cup.
Why is
Like-
it so hard to find those perfect? Those are literally the best straws on the entire planet. Like, there's not even.
They are.
Doesn't come
They
close.
are pretty.
The
I
hospital's
always think
got
of
a
those as like souvenir
monopoly,
cups
I
for like
guess.
baseball games. Like those are the kind of like.
So this is when I had my jaw surgery. This is I'll have a little trophy case.
Here's a reminder of my deep existential trauma.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so
So,
I been
real
using
quick,
this. I still have to drink, but
Do you remember anything about the surgery? Did you wake up at all during it, or were you completely
Oh,
knocked out the whole
that
time?
would be they'd have a big issue, let me tell you that. Somebody in anesthesia messed up. I'd be filing something, let me tell you.
100%.
No. Yeah, I'd be getting that free money. Hey, free hospital visit. Let's go. No, so when I first got there that morning, like 5 or we got there like 6 a.m. and woke up like 4:45. Register whatever, they get me in the room. And I was kind of explaining the story on stream. they're supposed to like they're starting to supposed to take me away at like 7:30. And I'm sitting in there, and as they're getting me ready, and the nurse is coming in, she's starting to get like that IV ready and all that sort of
Oh
stuff.
God.
So painful. But
The
then she
nerves.
asks, so it goes through the thing like, when was the last time you ate food? I'm like 7 last night. She's like, when the last time you have like drinks? I was like, nothing except water, and I only had like a little bit this morning. And then she's like, what was it? I was like, it was water. Well, how much? And I'm like, I don't know, because the nurse called me the last night before, as they usually do, and she informed me. She's like, "Hey, no food." This is why I remember. She didn't say no food or drink. She said no food, like 12 hours before surgery, and then I don't think she mentioned anything about drink. It was just like, and then staying away from anything but water. And that's why I specifically remember. I was like, oh,
Anything but
typically they,
water.
yeah. I was like, or well, don't drink anything except water, like after something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And I specifically remember this because every time they've been called, and I always hear, it's always like no food or any drink. So I'm like, oh, it must be chill to just like get a little bit of water. Word. So I woke up, I'm a little parched. Plus, I'm like, I don't know, next time I'm gonna get some
Yeah. Be
water,
able to.
maybe just hydrate my body a little bit.
Go, go.
Yeah. So that was the problem. I got a big old glass. I couldn't tell you how much. I gulped that whole thing. I'm just drinking
16
glug, glug,
ounces?
glug, glug, glug.
16 fluid ounces.
Possibly. Yeah. So that's what I had to tell them. I just, I drank it. Good. Let's go to the hospital. So I tell them, I'm like, I don't know, but I definitely gulped. And she's like, you got to guess for me. And I'm like, 12 to 16 ounces? And her face was telling me like,
You better be
that's
right
not
or you're
good.
gonna die.
Well, yeah, she was like, she told me that's not good. So I'm like, what? So I was like, why is that? Is that like bad? Like what's? And she was like, well, the reason we tell that, and even with water, is with anesthesia, um, if there is stuff in your stomach when it enters, it can cause complications like and then she went her mistake was in explaining what happens and all the side effects or like what could
Yeah.
potentially.
Well,
So I'm
great.
here
Now I'm
like,
like thinking about all this.
well, yeah, so now it sounds like I might just like start choking on my own vomit during surgery. They got to pull me out. And I'm like,
It's like
great.
the end of like a pill commercial, like just telling you all the side effects,
Yeah.
and you're like,
She could have just kept it at, we'll have to postpone the surgery possibly. But that was also how she ended it. And I'm like,
oh my god.
I'm not gonna lie. She
Water.
left. I started crying. I was like, I cannot. Because the other thing too is like,
I
oh, postpone.
started
Oh, we'll have to do it.
crying.
Like,
I just
oh, I'll
had a
do it
breakdown.
tomorrow. Yeah, no. Postpone is like, we'll do this in September or something. I'm like, oh. I'm like, there's
I got a
no.
wedding there.
Yeah, I was like, if I have done all this, I've waited, I've prepared, and a glass of water pushes like I couldn't do it. I was losing it.
Oh,
So I had to wait like 45 minutes because she had to call the anesthesia team, which is different, I guess.
damn.
And then they weren't there for some reason, or like don't even get there early enough, blah blah blah. So I'm just sitting here for like 4 minutes. Oh my god, no, wait, this is gonna be postponed. This is canceled. Like I did all this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Why did I drink water? Um, long story short, I don't care what the nurses say. 12 hours before surgery, I ain't
Just not
touching
doing
nothing.
Nothing
man.
is going in my
Nothing.
body.
I ain't touching nothing. Let this be a lesson to everybody too. Believe them, okay? And even if they don't, just don't. Okay, be safe.
Do your own research is what Christian is saying when it comes to medical
Yeah.
research.
So, because yeah, I thought it was so strange. But anyway, that's how it all started. So I'm not in a great.
They
note.
come back at some point and say, "Hey, like you were able to do it,
But
yay,
yeah,
and we're
so she
good."
comes back and like they think it shouldn't be a problem. So now I'm like, okay, thankfully the surgery's going. But now I'm like,
Well, I might
what
die
if it?
now.
Well, now I was like, what if it was more water and like I didn't know and then what if that happens? So now I'm like,
you to look in the sink.
yeah. So I'm like, great. Now I'm going to surgery, yay. But also, oh no, I might die. Realistically, would I've died? Probably not, but like, Lord only knows. So I'm like, ah, Jesus. So now I'm real nervous, real anxious. But then they give
Double
me the good
nervous.
stuff. Again, I don't remember what the actual word is.
You're like, "Yeah, you were on the nitrous."
But they give you something right before you actually get into the room or anything. They call it the sedation vacation. Love that
Oh.
stuff, whatever it is. They put it into your IV and they're like, it's going to take the edge off. Like, you'll be less anxious, kind of just warm you up for the surgery, get you feeling good. And I'm like, give it to me. Yes, please.
Yeah, give it to me stat.
They did it with last surgery too.
Mhm.
This surgery, she must have either given me like the extra dose or some good stuff. Because
'Cause you were
last
the
surgery,
highest
I
in the room.
remember, yeah, I remember up until the moment they're like, count back. I'm in the surgery room. I'm looking around. Like, I remember everything. This
I
time,
remember everything.
they give it to me like, all right, we're going to roll you out now. Slowly get to the operating room and we'll walk you through all that stuff. Bro, I remember leaving the door of the waiting room I was in. Nothing else.
That was it. Like, that was the last memory you have.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then what's the next memory you have?
nurse is calling me fat, man. I was like, what?
See, like, look at this fat fuck.
I kid you not. I guess so. After surgery, they
I
put
gotta
you
get
in
in the
like
weight room after this.
they put you in the recovery room. You sit there for an hour and a half, like no family, anything. It's just there to like make sure immediately post-op you're fine. Don't remember any of that. I remember that in the last surgery. And then they put me into my room since I'm staying the night. And that's what was happening. I was on Gertie or whatever. And it's when they're trying to put me onto my hospital bed.
Okay.
And they're talking about like, I can't, he's a little too Christian, you gotta help us. You gotta give us a little bit, man. Yeah, and I'm sitting my eyes aren't open. I'm like hearing voices. Like, you gotta give us a little bit, Christian. We need some help. Bro, it's 2 nurses. I'm like 165, man. But anyway, so I like gotta like someone move my thing. And they get me
Piece
over.
of shit. Like, fuck.
Yeah, that's what happens. And then this is really all else I remember for a little while. She goes, Christian, do you want your glasses? Again, I'm conked out, bro. My eyes aren't open. I guess I said like, or just like, because I don't know what the fuck. So they put my glasses on. Don't ask me why.
Hilarious for the pick, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
So this is
I don't
leading
know
up
if
to
that
the
was
pick.
intent. That, like, I didn't realize till someone like put in the comments like, I like how they put on your glasses. I was like, yeah, wait, why does he have his glasses on?
No idea. I have no idea. So they put my glasses on, and then I remember just hearing Claire at the foot of the bed being like, I don't know if she asked me or she's like, I'm gonna take a picture of this because
I'm taking
there's
the
just
kids
so
and
much going
leaving.
on. So I just remember her saying that, and then that's the picture you saw.
Okay.
Which thanks for showing that on the podcast.
I mean,
That
it was
was
on
my
your Twitter. I figured
Well,
like
I
if
know.
it's on Twitter,
I
it's
tuned
fair
into
game.
I tuned into the podcast, and my picture's just everyone's
I
like, you
thought
did
it
him
was like-
dirty.
I figure it's
And then-
fair game.
You
know,
did
it's on
kind
Twitter, I
of
was
do
like-
him dirty.
Ugh.
I would like
I
to
was like,
say
it's on-
I did not have. I was not that. I did not vet that. That
I'll
was
tell
a
you guys
Rob
this.
choice
If I am
completely.
ever in post surgery and not on the podcast, you have every right to use every form of post surgery pic that I have.
I just did when I watched it too, just to see like what photo you put because you're like, yo, I'm gonna have a photo of him. I was like, oh, that'll be
I
nice.
threw it up.
And then you threw it up. I was like, Jesus Christ, bro.
Hey, but then I brought it back with the All Might, the one next week. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it was
for sure.
cool.
Well,
I
actually,
didn't wanna
next week
double
was
up.
the chipmunk.
And then you
meme,
and
let's
then
be
you did him
honest.
dirty again with the chipmunk.
Oh, okay. No,
But to
you
be fair-
said to put the
but to
chipmunk
be
one.
fair-
Don't lie. You said
but to be
you should put
fair-
the chipmunk one.
but
no,
to be
I'm
fair,
not gonna have that.
I did say put the chipmunk one on, so we did him dirty.
Okay, thank you.
That's fair. Yeah, and then all my thanks.
Yeah.
But so that was that picture. And I remember like somebody also like stage photo fake. And people were like, you don't even have the IV in. Like, trying to- Yeah, like trying to really break the first off, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, guys, for a year and a half, I've been faking this surgery.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting the
Well, I was
photo
like-
op ready. We forgot that one piece, guys. Like, that's our bad.
It's like, and if you know me too, first off, I don't take pictures. I don't even think to take pictures. I have pictures of my dog. I've been with Claire for 10 years. We have like 12 pictures total. Okay.
Dude, we're
Uh,
we're not.
Look at my Instagram.
yeah.
I forgot I even have one. Okay. Like me staging photos, whatever. And then the IV, literally like the minute after that, they put it in. But I mean, like literally, they put me on the bed. They put the glass on for whatever reason. I think that's why she's like, this is hilarious. Took the picture.
This is
Because yeah, I look back. I was like, why did I slept for like hours after that. I have no idea. And then yeah, it was just coming in and out a while. Nurse is like, hey, we're giving you this, giving you that. My mom was there. She was there pre-surgery and after. And then my dad showed up for a little while.
What about like
then
when you
otherwise-
first wake up, like you are awake, you are conscious, and my mouth is wired shut. I'm like Did you have like a kind of panic moment, or did you know like, okay, like my mouth is gonna be closed?
Well, so
Like,
here is uh, a good thing, but also a bad thing. And I'll
okay,
explain why. But so I didn't get to explain on the podcast because I actually had my last pre-op right after I recorded the last episode that Friday, which is right before my surgery. And they ended up telling me, like, finally the specific like stuff they probably should have told me a while ago.
Yeah.
it would have made you
They
feel maybe better or worse.
Yeah,
Or...
it would have made me feel a little bit better because they start off by saying you don't have to be wired shut.
And what aren't the whole
And
time
I've
they've
been
been saying
like,
like, "Hey, you need pliers just in case, like
yeah,
if you throw up, you won't
I'm
drown."
sitting here for
Like,
like 2 years thinking we're like, "Oh my god." And then they go ahead, "Yeah, so, we're just gonna band you shut, but you won't need a wire or anything." You
what's the difference?
Why
It's
are
like
you
not as embracive, I guess, like the band
Yeah,
one.
it's not as, intense, plus I can just take the bands off.
Okay,
Um, so, I mean, I was still super limited, but
yeah,
just take the bands off or just like that, like, I if I wanted to, I could
okay,
still move or
but it
something.
wasn't like
No.
that's
So, I heard
good.
that and I was like, "Oh, this is oh my god, like,
Like the
this is so
relief, I
nice."
bet, from you,
Yeah.
like.
And I was like, "Why the fudge did they not tell me this earlier?" And then they start telling me about, like,
I just love. Hey, we're gonna fuck with this fat kid real quick,
yeah,
nurse.
'cause, I guess what they're explaining too is if I had like, typically, if you have solo bottom jaw, you're wired shut. If you have both, you're usually wired shut, but sometimes, I guess, upper jaw, you sometimes don't need it, and I guess this was my case, so Og.
Okay.
So I was like, "Oh my god, okay, this might be even easier than I thought it would be." Like,
Mhm.
uh, we're vibing. They explained that to me, and then some of the recovery, um, and then, like so because of that, they're like, "So expect in, like, X amount of weeks to start trying to do this, and the next amount of weeks we're gonna try this, and then hopefully by this, you're gonna do this, blah, blah." So I'm like, "Word." And then, they're also like and then so post like, so the actual recovery though, like, they're just like, "We're not gonna lie, the first 7 days are gonna be terrible." And I'm like, "Oh, great." And they start explaining, like, the actual stuff that I need to do post-recovery, and I'm sitting there like, "Ooh, that don't sound nice." And they're like, "This is what you need to watch out for, and if you do this." And I remember we left that because Claire was with me, and she was all excited. She's like, "Oh my god, like, this sounds so much easier than what we thought."
Yeah.
Because she supposedly, they're like, "Hopefully 2 weeks after surgery, you can try soft foods, real soft foods."
That's way sooner than like intended
Yeah.
or like
And
thought,
here I
right?
was saying, like, just look, it's 4 to 5 weeks. I'm like, "That's great." After 4-ish weeks, you can try to start chewing with your back molars, but, like, only that, and you have to cut everything up. And then after 6 weeks, um, hopefully you can just try chewing normally. I'm like, "This is great. That's great." And she's so excited, and she's like, "And you're not gonna be wired shut?" Meanwhile, though, I'm just sitting there, like, processing it all, and then I'm thinking, like, about all those, like, 7, 8 days explaining to him, like, that is gonna be hell. That's oh my god. So she's
That
like,
week is
"Yay!" And I'm like, well."
yes.
I'm like, let me tell you, I ain't as excited," but it was a little more promising. So, yeah, I come out. There wasn't even any sensation of being rubber banded shut, bro, I couldn't feel
Okay.
anything. I mean, just my whole head
Just
practically.
couldn't feel like it's still like numb in sense like you still had like
Oh,
numbing
beyond.
stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
anesthesia and, numbing, to the point where, like so, first off, trying to swallow, everything was numb, so it felt like I was choking on my tongue.
Oh,
It's like
that's
you
creepy.
probably some people have had, like, that feeling, it's terrible, but so they try and give me water, and they tried to just give me a like, it wasn't a straw, but it was
Get the fucking like
like a
fucking
catheter kinda straw, and they're like, "See if you can drink any."
get it open.
I can't suck at all. I can't do anything. So then they're like, "Alright, we'll give it to you." They start waterboarding me, man, because I'm so numb and I can't say anything, so
Where are
I'm
the drugs?
yes, they pull it out and they're like, "No." So we had to come up with a system where I went and get a gladiator on them. So they put it up and I'm like, "Wah, wah." I swear to God, they were trying to kill me. Um, because they were using this, but yeah, they had like a super bendy straw that was like rubber.
Oh
So,
yeah.
um, yeah, it was super weird though because they like I didn't even know it was in my mouth, and I couldn't even really feel the
Pause.
water. So it wasn't until I'm like, It was bizarre. It was just a strange sensation.
Uh-huh.
That was just what I noticed first. But yeah, I mean, I'm up on every kind of drug
Is
at
this
that
like
point.
5 hours after surgery, 6? Like how long
Yeah,
after
like
the
5 or
surgery?
6.
Okay.
Because when I first got to the bed, I think I slept just like 4 or 5 hours before even really coming to. Um, yeah, and then I went in and out. Uh, the the weird sensation, I didn't really feel it until the next day though. And they didn't explain this to me uh until the pre-op as well. But because of where they go inside and cut the incision on the soft palate, I guess in between the soft palate and my actual like nasal way, inside that in the passage, blood clots and mucus will build up. And so for the first 2 weeks, all that was happening was blood and mucus draining 24/7. Yeah, it was disgusting. And out of my
My bad, yo.
nose. No,
I'll mute
trust
myself.
me. Sorry, trying not to get too graphic. But constantly out of my nose was like bloody mucus, so I had to keep watching that. But then the worst part was I could just feel it going down my throat all the time. I'm sorry, Ross. But it is
No,
why
you're good. It makes for good content.
is why it was miserable. There's just like
So
this
wait,
constant kind of stream.
they did like the incisions to your jaw through your mouth or
Yeah.
not outside? Okay.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Interesting.
So they all did on the inside. But because of that, yeah, as time went, blood clots would start breaking.
Oh
And
my
then
god.
because they messed with the sinuses and the mucus was all in I don't know.
No way.
But it
And they like tell you
was
this, like, hey, like you're gonna have like blood coming
yeah.
out and shit. Like, oh my god.
And they're like, expect that. It's just like if there's any sudden lots of blood, like let us know if that's something to be worried about. Um,
Oh my gosh.
but for the first
That would be
week
the
and a
hardest part for
half,
me. Nonstop. Oh
But then
my
after a
gosh.
week and a half, my nose stopped. But then it was even weirder because if you asked me, like, "Hey, what are you feeling?" I was like, "I need a tissue." My nose is like just running, but there's nothing coming out. It's all the mucus right under and blood
That's
going
so
down my. But it
weird.
feels like it felt
Yeah.
like it was
Like
just
a
like
sensation of like something
yeah,
like having a runny nose, essentially.
yeah. Literally, it felt like it was just nonstop, and there'd be
That is
nothing.
so weird.
Um, so that was the hardest part for a while because it also limited a lot of what I tried to drink. Because if anything was sort of acidic, the mucus was already there, and then I just like couldn't swallow because there's like so much mucus. Um, and also they failed to tell me that yeah, you're gonna do liquids only. But for the first like 5 days, I literally couldn't suck anything thicker than water. Because like with my sinuses, like I couldn't even
Were you
suck
ever were you ever like worried like, oh, I'm gonna starve to death? Like, cause like, or did you like just kind
for
of
a little while. But I was also
did
like,
you just ever hit that flow state? It's like, well, I haven't eaten in like 3.5 days, and it's just like, and you just kind of hit that flow.
it was about week 1 to 2.5 where I'm essentially just on starvation mode, but I'm like, hey, baby.
You just you're just in flow state, kind of.
Because by the 7th day, the only food I'd had were 2 small shakes and smoothies.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
That had like substance. That actually had like some sort
no,
of like.
Oh,
Oh,
not hell yeah.
like real basic, like a couple fruits in a smoothie, and then just like mint chocolate chip ice cream milkshake. Omega blended.
nah. See, that sounds like the worst part of this recovery so far.
But I mean, the first week there was so much going on though. I didn't even really notice how hungry I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like my body's just in like, it's still taking stock of everything. It wasn't until like day 9 or 10 where it was really hitting me like, meh, there's nothing in this body. I'm struggling. And I didn't look it up, but I guess technically I should have been worried. I guess medically, if you don't poop within a certain amount of time, you go hospital. I think I like kind of there, but I was like, what am I gonna poop? There's
How
nothing in
many
my body.
days?
Something
So
like
like since
11 or
surgery to like
12 or something.
11, 12 days. Wow.
Something like that. I
You
think I
didn't
pooped
But
in
like,
like
what do you like? You just said like, what am I pooping?
15.
Air?
Yeah, but
Wait.
I didn't worry about it. I'm like,
So
whatever.
so wait, how long did it take you to poop?
It was like 15 days, probably.
You didn't
That's
poop for 15 days? That's crazy to think
Mhm.
about.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like, what are you pooping out?
I
Like,
pooped twice today, and
I
it's
can
9 o'clock.
guarantee you almost everything that went into your body was literally getting
That's what I
absorbed.
thought. I was like,
Were you peeing a lot?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was staying hydrated. I was
Yeah.
keeping a constant flow of water. I was.
I mean, there's how much waste? How much waste do you have when your body is like, please, something?
You know, it's bad when I just keep throwing ice cream and they're like, "We'll take it all, man."
Were you
take
like
it
when
all.
you felt that like I need to poop? Were you like yes, like yeah, like
No, I was fighting for my life. Let me tell you. It was not a fun poop.
okay?
As you can imagine, after 15 days, uh, just a little constipated.
Yeah.
Got to work through that.
Also,
They just want you to know you really want it.
Also, I can guarantee you when you're constipated and the poop has been sitting there for a while, the poop is not squishy and soft.
Oh no.
You touching your poop after you poop or something?
No, Rob, I hate Rob because I can guarantee you Rob has never had a spiky shit come out of him. Fucking asshole.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I've
fuck
been eating
you,
like
man.
shit lately. It's been a
Fuck
while
you,
since I had a
man.
spiky poop.
I was
But they feel kind of good when they
nonstop
come out. Pause.
spiky rabbit poops. All right, that's what I was
When they're a
living
little
with.
spiky, it feels kind of good.
Pause.
It does. It does.
Rob
That's
said,
a fact.
Let me
Rob
clip
said
that.
Pride Month. Rob said, damn,
What?
y'all, does the poop come out your butt kind of feel good? Like,
Well, it's spiky. Only when it's spiky. What did you watch? Like, what got you entertainment wise? How did we pass the time? I'm sure there was ways. You know, I'm sure you watched my stream constantly, so thanks for that. I'm sure that's what got you.
Yeah, this is the best part.
Your old videos,
nothing.
You just went through your old catalog, watched all your old videos.
The heyday. Now, this is also why it was harder than I thought. Nothing. I had a list of a bajillion shows I could rewatch. Didn't watch anything. I just couldn't.
Raw dogged it.
I wish. Well, I actually just found. I got all my Dragon Ball Z DVDs and just put them on replay. I don't rewatch things either, but for some reason,
you do not.
it was enough to just kind of pay attention to every now and then.
And also be miserable and feel like you aren't missing anything while being miserable, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I was so miserable and depressed that like I couldn't focus on anything. Nothing was interesting. I couldn't. I was just in my head. So yeah, passing the time didn't go well. It was very slow. I'll tell you that. And the pain wise, after day 8, I mean, they were kind of like on the nose. They're like, day 7, you'll start feeling like a human. It was day 6, and I'm like, ain't no way. Day 7, I was like, Day 8, I woke up and I'm like, oh, yeah, they're kind of right. Like it was a big shift, like physically, of like,
of no pain,
right, like
of like you were in
not
pain
no
for the
pain,
first...
but like,
okay,
it was weird to describe. Like it really was. It was like I felt inhuman, and then the next day I was like,
the human body, bro.
I can kind of feel alive. Yeah. It was still rough going, but like nothing compared to the first 7 days. And then as soon as I could get off the muscle relaxers and stuff, I did because those make it worse. I mean, I shout out to people that love those, I guess. But like, even my dad was warning me like those hard painkillers.
Yeah,
you have
I was
to
gonna
watch
say,
out.
man, those are very scary, man. Like I had a cousin in high school that got like in a car accident and became very dependent on those later on in his life. So
Believe me,
it's a very
we got nothing
very
to worry
scary
about.
thing.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre to me knowing that's what people like. I hate the feeling.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not a big. I've had like nitrous one time or like kind of like painkillers once when I got my like wisdom teeth out, and I'm not a big fan of that feeling either.
cut the
I
dash
don't
from
like
the
the
hood,
numbness. I
but
don't like numbness. Like numbness like freaks me out. Like I don't like that. Like I don't like that feeling.
there's a lot of that going on. But yeah, I had to like rinse with alcohol 3 times a day. I had timers. I was doing meds on the dot. That's the thing, especially post surgery. I'm like, I'm a good patient. You tell me exactly what to do, bro. I ain't risking nothing. I'm gonna do exactly what you told me to do, exactly in the order, and like exactly the time. So I was doing everything I needed to do.
I mean, shit. You drank water when they said you could. Like
Yeah. I was drinking
That's
probably
true.
more. I was like, I'm staying hydrated. They even said like try to talk. It won't really be able to be clear, but like it helps just to sort of massage the jaw a little bit. And
There's like,
yeah,
what?
so she was. So during the hospital that first day, they were saying like try to speak. Like immediately after surgery, I'm like, okay. And I mean, I'm not kidding about it would sound like that.
Okay.
And the nurse would be like, Jimmy's falling in a well? I'm like, oh my God, how did you know? I'm telling you, dude, the nurse are like mumble whisperers, bro. I would be like, ha, ha,
That's
ha,
so
ha.
funny.
Oh, you need to go to the bathroom.
Do you
Like,
want a film? Okay, 2 words.
I literally just,
You're
I would
like,
be like, like, yeah, let me get the water.
you
And
want
then
a soda, Dr. Pepper.
meanwhile, if the nurses weren't there, Claire would be there. And I'm like, ha, ha. She's like, what? Ha. She'd sit there and like, I got to call the nurse. The nurse comes in. I say it one time, we got you. I don't know how they did it, man. I can't
Whoa.
blame Claire because I literally, even my
Yeah.
mom, she was like, you want to write it down? But the
You're like
nurses, bro,
you're like
boom,
Hector
boom, boom.
Salamanca. Like, hey.
Yeah, so I don't understand how they did it, but shout out to them. I did almost pass out during the first night though, because first time I did try to go to the bathroom, I got up, and that's when I realized the whole time my nose had been dripping, but I guess just like blood just started dripping a whole bunch.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, oh, he's dripping. We need to like just sit him down on the toilet. And bro, I
Dripping.
get to the toilet and I'm white in the face, old sweats.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I think I'm gonna pass out. So that's when I learned they have a belt, I guess. So she has to like wrap herself in one part of the belt, and then she puts the other belt around my body to make sure I don't fall and hit my head.
My
I'm gonna fucking pass out. Oh my God.
my sister-in-law is a nurse, and I always commend her on the things that she does at work, because man, I could never in a million years help some random stranger to the bathroom. He tells me he's about to pass out in a weird voice, and then I gotta belt myself to this dude. Like, I could never. So shout out to all you nurses and like people that help people who had surgery and
True.
shit. That's crazy.
They seem unbothered by everything. I'm like, this for me, this is the weirdest scenario
Yeah, I'm like, so
possible.
because like I asked, I was like, what gets you more? Like, is it the poop or like blood? Like, what is it, the disgusting, or is it like, like the blood? And she's like, like neither. Like, I guess like you're
I guess
meant for this job, I guess.
yeah, it's like I guess you got to be built different to do it in the first place. Um, Shout out to the night nurse, the best of the nurses I had. She came in, she was she was on the ball, and she was also the most clear. So like the earlier nurses were like, time for your meds. So swallow 'em.
Fucking get in there.
But the night nurse came in. This is the first time I realized what I was taking. She's like, hey, so I'm giving you this. Also known as this. It's going to treat this. Rona does this. I'm going to give you this now.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
she gives you
2
too
hours
much
from now, I'm going to
potassium
do
and you
it.
die.
Yeah. But she like went over to the whiteboard. Now the other one's not. She's like, here's your schedule. I'm going to come in right here. And you're going to take this and right here. And
Huh.
every 30 minutes. I mean, she was on it that whole night. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. It was very comforting knowing exactly what was going on. So
Was
shout out
your
to her.
sleep schedule like really weird? Like, were you up at weird hours because like obviously like you woke up at like 2 o'clock? So like, were you up at midnight or what was that kind of like?
Nah, I just slept like 18 hours anyway.
Oh, okay.
The first couple of days, yeah. I mean, like,
How
I'd
long were
be
you in the hospital?
awake, just for the 24 hours.
Okay, so pretty
Like post
quickly.
surgery. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
next morning, like 10 or 11, they discharged me.
Like, get the hell out
Um,
of here.
yeah. Well, no, I ain't paying another day. Let me tell you that.
Get him. Get him.
This $2,000 water bottle, as much as nice.
hey, you can
Uh,
keep that. And they're like,
yeah, I was like, oh, I better be able. Thank you.
this dude
Yeah.
like thinks that he got something cool.
Don't take the tissue box. Though. That's another couple hundred. Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay. My fault.
Yeah, my fault. My fault.
Those are double ply.
But yeah. So otherwise, oh, so that so there's 2 moments too where like I started to just kind of feel better, and then the universe is like, nah, about that.
Boom.
So it was like
Bonk.
day 10 or 11, where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and get out of bed. That's not just like going to the bathroom or sitting in the shower. I was like, maybe I'm gonna try and sit at my computer for a while. Play some watch, I don't know, but just like get up. This will be fun. This will be good. I need this.
What day is this?
Like day 10.
Okay.
Get up, sit down. All right. I'm not expecting to play. I was like, I don't know, I'll play like freaking Slay
I
the
was
Spire
expecting
or
you to go like,
something.
I'll edit a video real quick.
Yeah, no. I was like, I'm gonna play something low energy. I was like Slay the Spire, maybe.
Balatro.
I don't know. Yeah, but like literally, I was like something that's just some strategy, but can take it on my own pace. There's not a lot happening. Nothing's moving. I put up my computer.
So I pick Hades.
Blue screen.
Oh yeah.
Let me
I
just
forgot
reset that real
about
quick.
this.
Booted up BIOS. Okay, that's BIOS.
It's weird.
BIOS. Huh. Try and boot up again. Get blue screen. That's when I realized, start doing some investigating. So now you've got day 10 post surgery, swollen, still kind of drugged, Mr. Fruit, hobbling around, trying to
Chipmunk
look at the
status. Are you
PC.
chipmunk pick at this
Oh,
point?
yeah. Oh, mega. In my closet, on my knees, trying to look at my computer, like, look at the hardware, like, what's going on? I'm trying to Google things.
Is this the gaming PC or the streaming PC?
Yeah, the gaming PC, which just got fixed. And I was like, finally, no problems. And it'd been working for like a month and a half. It only been 10 days since I last used it, or 11, whatever. CPU's just gone. Completely shot. How? Don't ask me. So I had to get a brand new CPU. And then I guess for whatever reason, it also corrupted Windows. So I had to do a fresh install Windows. But so I ended up ordering all those and all that stuff. So essentially, I sat there for like a couple hours that day, a couple hours the next day, trying to figure out what's going on, feeling worse because I'm pushing myself, but I'm like,
Bro,
what the fuck
troubleshooting
is
is my
this?
hell. I couldn't imagine like troubleshooting in a double hell. Like
Yeah.
being post
I mean, I
like
was like, this ain't happening, man.
yeah, you're like in the
And
7 rings of hell, like Dante's Inferno type shit.
so yeah, eventually I like give up. Like it's a CPU issue in Windows. So I pick. That's when I sent you the pick. I ended up
Yeah.
having
I
Claire
mean,
drive me to
you
Micro
got to go
Center
to
a
the
couple
most
days later.
beautiful place in the world.
Let me
Like,
tell you, it's not so fun when in those circumstances. But
yeah. Well, glass half full. At least you get to
yeah,
go to Micro Center.
that was like day 14 or 15 or something when I picked that up. Got it working or somewhat, and I just got off. I was like, I can't even. It's taking too long.
Respect for you to installing a new CPU, bro. The CPU is pretty intimidating.
But also, it's
There's a
just like,
lot there's a
I need to
lot that
fix
can
this.
go wrong with installing a CPU.
I'll just put it this way: I needed a win. I'm like, this thing's getting fixed. Like,
I need it.
I need something.
I need this.
And it was funny too at Micro Center because it was like a pickup thing. The cashier recognized me. Are you Mr. Fruit?
Fuck yeah.
Bro, this is prime chipmunk. You probably still can't really understand what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah. He starts asking me about things, and it's clear that he was like, he hasn't watched me in a while.
Yeah.
But so he was like, I haven't seen you since like Overwatch 1 or something. So bro's probably like, what happened to this dude? He fell out, like he can't
Yeah.
talk. Dude is going through it. I'm like, I don't even have time to give him the.
I just had
surgery.
jaw
I'm just like,
surgery, yo. Like
I didn't even tell him. I'm just like, I'll take the CPU. Thanks, man. And so I go back, fix that. The next day ends up being Sunday, and Claire wants to go to the farmer's market. And I was like, you know what? I'll try. Just get out.
walk around,
Yeah, try and walk a little bit, get some sun.
let me be amongst the people. Let me
Yeah, terrible idea. Us terrible idea. We go out there. She's doing it. I'm like sitting there, like hovering above myself, third person, out of body experience. Like, I think we're dying. Why are we doing this? Like, I'm exhausted. That's when I started to realize, man, it's hot.
and like we're 5 minutes into this.
Yeah, and then I'm like, man, I'm hungry. And then I realized I'm trying to do this. My body has not received sustenance in 2 weeks. Then it starts hitting me like, oh my God, I have no energy. I got nothing. So we start heading back. Like we should probably head back now. On the way out, Mr. Fruit.
Oh no.
Oh my, oh no shot.
Lock
And
in. Lock in.
I'm like,
Lock in.
I sit up. And lovely fellow with his girlfriend. I guess they both watch me. They asked me how my surgery was going. So I'm like, we got some
Great.
recent
So they are
viewers.
aware.
Yeah. So I cannot remember your names, but if you saw me at the farmer's market, I want to apologize. Because even though I was like, yeah, I kept it short. So you guys want some pictures or something? And I got some pictures. And like, if Lord only knows the picture, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
I
like
would love to
smiling.
see
I'm
that.
trying as
If
hard to
you-
smile. I'm like,
If you are the fans, please tweet me the picture. I would love to see it. I need that now.
But yeah, so I can't smile. I can't really talk. And I just want you guys to know, I was going through it. Apologies. They're like, it's nice to see you up and about. I'm like, no, it's not. I was like, you seem to be doing well. No, I'm not. Thanks, man. Yeah, I was going through it. Apologies. We went to the grocery store after because I had to get a couple things.
Mr. Fruit?
Well, no. Claire like went to the pickup, and I had to go in because I needed to get like a couple things for me to drink that she just didn't. I was like, I'll go get them. I think I got 2 things. I think it took me 30 minutes. And at one point, I get in, or I think she's calling me as I'm like checking out. She's like, what's taking so long? She doesn't know, bro. I was fighting demons. I almost passed out like 3 different times. I'm just trying to get down the aisles. That's when I was like, I think I'm
You
dying.
need an
Man.
adult.
Yeah, I really was. I was like, I need help. So I finally got 2 things. I think I need to get 3. I'm like, I gotta
Clean
get
up
out
on
of
aisle
here.
3.
And that's when I realized, yeah. So that's way too much. So we dialed it back. I get back into bed. I don't really do anything for the next couple
Also,
days.
if you're just talking too much and like you start bleeding, just tell me and we'll take over and stuff.
That hasn't happened in a while. I'll explain
Okay.
that. But so I get back next couple days. I don't even really go with my computer. Still just stay in bed. I'm like, all right, I push myself. I ain't ready
Yeah.
for that quite yet. I go see the surgeon. He's like, things are
Post-op.
looking good.
Let's go.
Yeah, this first thing's like, all right, things are looking good. You're a little over 2 weeks out. You can try some soft foods now. And so I'm like, I made it. I can get
What's a soft food?
sustenance. So he's like, you can try, like mashed potatoes, maybe
That's
some
good.
pasta, like mac and cheese, anything where you can now like start sort of working your tongue and stuff. So you can do like pudding or freaking mainly just like pudding, I guess. But no hold. And so I'm like, yes. For the next couple days, lots of mashed potatoes and stuff, but like something savory as well. Finally getting stuff in my body. And then it was like day 19 or something. I'm like, all right, feeling up to it. Let's try pasta. This is it. So I ordered me some fettuccine Alfredo. I'm like, yes, sir.
Classic. Can't mess that up.
I gobbled that down, brother. Now, by gobble, I mean it took me like an hour and a half. Bro, it hit. I was like, this is great. This is the first real
we are so
food.
back. We are so back.
So back. And then 4 hours later, I wake in the middle of sleep. It's food poisoning. Can't make it
Oh.
up. You can't write this, folks.
Really?
Yeah, literally. One meal. I try one thing. Food poisoning. So
Was it the chicken?
I have no idea. Well, I couldn't
Damn.
eat the chicken.
So
So
sucks.
I go to the bathroom because I wake up. I'm nauseous. My heart's going crazy. I'm like, I gotta throw up, and I'm about to poop my britches. I barely get to the toilet. And
Thank
I'm,
God
I'm
for
like
those
about to
britches.
pass out. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my. So
Britches are
thankfully,
safe.
I brought my phone. I call Claire. She comes in, and I'm like, she's like, what is going on? I can't even open my eyes. I got like a headache. I'm shaking.
Both
I
sides.
just need something. And I couldn't. We looked it up, and I really couldn't take anything because of all the other meds I was taking. And good news, bad news, I never threw up or had diarrhea. But bad news, I never threw up or had diarrhea. So for 3 days, my body was telling me, we have something we need to expel. And for 3 days, my body refused to expel it.
Was it you refusing it like mental? Like, I'm not doing that. Like, okay.
No, literally, at first, I'm like, I don't want this. 2 hours in, I'm like, bro, I'll do anything. Yeah, I'm like, I'll projectile vomit
but
to
your
the
body's
moon
like,
if I have to.
I want to, but I don't really know if I want to. Like,
So I think part of it was like
come and chase.
the lack of food, I guess, and like the lack of pooping. So like diarrhea but being constipated is a weird combo. And then I don't know why I never threw up. I wish I did. So instead, I was in a constant state of like nausea and dizziness. So I was like almost passing out.
How was it? Like, are you still banded up at this point, or are you non-banded at this point? Okay. How does it go about
when
taking
this was
those
all
off? Like, how did that? How did they look? I'm curious.
So I actually had hooks in the inside of my upper teeth. So the bands would be on the inside, and then they came out to the outside of my bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, so they like looped around both. Yeah, and when I had to swap them, I had to use like tweezers because I couldn't even really get to them, and I couldn't open wide enough.
Interesting.
But while I'm sitting there about to projectile vomit, that's why the first hour or two I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this because also I'm like, this will sting the because I'm also thinking about the
like who knows, like
thing. Because I asked them, I was like, if I throw up, like, is that bad? They're like, just wash it out. It might hurt a little. So I'm like, oh man. And then I'm thinking too, I was like, this is what I was afraid of. Was like after this
Yeah.
surgery, throwing up. So then I'm just thinking to myself, like, at least I'm not wired shut right now, bro. At least
oh
I'm not
my
wired shut.
god, like
And then I remember when this was because it was Evo weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, I just laid in bed, incredibly nauseous and dizzy, watching Evo when I could. And then it was Monday. It was so bizarre. I finally pooped, but it was the most normal diarrhea. It was like my body just still wasn't sure what was going on. But I finally got something out of my body. Started feeling way better.
nice.
But yeah, that was
Is
rough.
that when you is that when you got pizza? I know you posted a pic of pizza at some
No,
point.
so then that was like a week after or something. Finally get pizza. A week and a half after that, finally get pizza, and this is when I was like, we made it.
Yeah,
4
like I'm
weeks.
at the finish line.
I can start eating food. This is it. We go out. We get some pizza. I eat a slice and a half, no crust, in about an hour. Let me tell you, working from all up, but I was like, oh, this tastes great. We're so back.
We're back again.
And then we were not back again.
Vicious cycle. We're
Yeah,
back.
it was vicious
We are
cycle.
so not back.
It then ended up being so hard and arduous to chew anything that I became completely disinterested in food, which has never happened in my life. Nothing sounded good. Suddenly, I could order almost anything, or like, hey, I didn't want to eat anything. Because then I was like, it's painful, not like this really hurts, but like just working things again, and it's still a little fresh. We're like, this isn't comfortable. Give me a headache. So still didn't get a lot of food in me. Fast forward to 6 weeks though, which is like a week and a half ago or something. He's like, all right, you can try to start using everything. I slowly work back into it, but now I'm at the point like yesterday. I had my first peanut butter pretzel. Yes, sir.
He's
I
back.
can officially say we're so
Yeah.
back. Yeah, it really wasn't until the
Officially
6 week,
100%.
the 6 week mark where I was like, okay. I
I'm
think a
normal.
large part of it was just complete lack of nutrition. And then also, especially the first like 2-3 weeks, having nothing in my stomach and then taking all those hard painkillers and all that sort of stuff just
Yeah.
had to mess me up. So I was working through all that. Now I did my first weight lift yesterday.
Nice.
So yeah, as a whole,
Do you have another
like,
post thing?
the increase. No, I saw him 6 weeks. The next one is like in a month, and then that's the last one, ideally. For a year until I'm done with braces and I go back. But yeah, it was crazy the increase in progress day by day after like 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there wasn't much progress 0 to 6, but when I started cooking all back,
Yeah.
a lot better. When I was able to use my computer, all I really did, as I'm sure you saw, was like play TFT, and I played The Last Spell. Those are like the only games I played.
Is that like a roguelike or something?
Yeah, I posted on my channel a while ago. It's this turn-based roguelike tower defense. But you don't really use towers. It's like your mages and stuff themselves act like towers. Blah, blah. Anyway, fun game. But both those games took all my focus. So the whole idea was to just distract myself to get through the days.
Yeah.
Just like whatever helps me get from morning to night.
It's good
yeah.
to have you back, brother. We missed you. I know a lot of the people in here missed you. I know it was tough, but it's good to have you back.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by Betterhelp. When we start getting really busy in this time of the year, things start falling through the cracks. Kids are starting back up their school, so you start putting your own priorities to the side. One priority you should never put to the side is therapy. My time with Betterhelp, they were nothing but truly professional. They showed me mechanisms for positive outlooks that I could look at in my career, my social life, my family life, every kind of aspect of my life. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast.
Good to be back.
You did miss a couple news things, so we're gonna ask you your opinions on some things that I'm interested while you were gone. One thing we haven't talked about that we talked about on the podcast: are you down with Robert Downing Jr. playing Doctor Doom?
Yeah, but I think there still could have been a better casting, but I get why they do it. It's 100% the Marvel panic button. And I think there's a cool way they can implement it. Because, like, I think the cool thing here would be seeing how it plays out when all the Avengers realize they're fighting Iron Man. You know, like, imagine Peter uh, Holland. What the fudge is his name? Tom Holland.
Peter
Tom Holland,
Parker?
Spider-Man.
Oh.
You're coming face to face with Robert Downey Jr., you know, like his father figure, like his hero. But now he's Doctor Doom in a different universe, and he has to, like, reform everything he knows to be like, wait, this is the bad guy. And he's like, now I do see his face everywhere. The interesting way, like, the Avengers have to play off that. But here's my hope, but I don't think it'll happen because if the salary's true, I mean, they wouldn't do this. But I'd love to think they're just doing like a bait. They bring Robert Downey Jr. back. He's Doctor Doom. Oh my God, 20 minutes in, he's dead. They just kill him. And then the real Doctor Doom shows up. And then it was just like,
Who's
turns
the
out
real
that was the
Doctor
bait.
Doom then? Who do they cast as the real Doctor Doom?
I still think, like, someone pointed out Mads Mikkelsen or whatever. I think he'd make a cool Doctor Doom.
Okay.
The guy who played the Lannister,
Nikolai.
that should have been redeemed. Yeah.
Nicholas, Nikolai,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he'd make a cool Doctor Doom. There's a couple castings that I think would be cool. But I'd love that, like, rope-a-dope, where it's like, oh, my God. But then he, like, dies, and it's like, oh, that's a joke.
But don't you
Like,
think
no,
all
he's
the
actually
Marvel
in
nerds
the
that were
real
like, and
variant.
they're like, yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s back, would be depressed that he's actually not back, get baited nerds?
I don't know, maybe they like it. I think it's best of both worlds. You get a little bit of everything. You get some fan service, and then you get this. Yeah, I'm not mad about it. I'm not, like, super hyped. I was definitely, like, when I first saw the headline, I was like, is this The Onion? I was like, there's, like, no shot. So it was a pretty crazy reveal. I'll give him that. I'll be honest, I did not expect it. But yeah,
Did you end up seeing Deadpool?
I did.
What did you think? I guess right now
Uh,
you could probably do spoilers at this point. It's been out for almost
True.
over a month.
Um,
Because when we did it, we
saw-
didn't know spoiler.
I've seen a couple movies. I can give them ratings on the
Yeah.
couple I've seen. Deadpool, Wolverine, 4 out of 5.
Hell yeah, brother.
Because I've thought about my rating system. Okay, 1 out of 5 is don't do this. Just don't go see it. Right? Just like it's a movie,
Oh,
but
so you're
so 1 out of
going
5.
back to 10?
No, I'm still doing 1 out of 5.
Okay.
I don't want to, like, better put into like what
Okay.
each one means. So, like, 1 out of
Okay.
5 is it's a movie, but I just don't bother. Like, there's not. I
One.
don't think it's
That's
redeeming.
one?
Yeah, just don't
Of
go
all
see it.
the
That's
movies
1.
that have existed,
Okay.
this is a movie.
It's a movie. 0 out of 5. I just probably want it. Like, it'll at least get a star as long as it's
Yeah.
a movie, whatever.
Competent.
But, like, yeah, 2 out of 5. Didn't enjoy it. Don't recommend it. But someone wants to see it or something. That's whatever. But I just don't recommend it. But I'm not, like, vehemently against it.
Yeah.
3 out of 5. I think it's a good movie, but you don't have to see it in theaters. 4 out of 5. I really like the movie. I think you should see it in theaters. 5 out of 5. Why aren't you ordering your tickets right now? You know, like, go right now. That's the way I see it. The Deadpool Wolverine for me is like 4 out of 5. I think you should see it in theaters. Definitely, hopefully, ideally, if you haven't been spoiled, definitely one of those movies that would have been way cooler. Like, I saw it opening night for anything, so having a theater full of people and then getting all the reveals and spoilers with nobody knowing anything, getting everybody's live reactions, like, make that more fun.
Getting the I'm gonna make a name for myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a name when I saw you.
I want to make a name for myself.
It was so good.
I remember I saw a meme and it was like, "Welcome to the My Name Is Jeff 2.0." Like it had been
Yeah.
like 10 years since My Name Is Jeff happened, and that was like Channing Tatum saying something funny again.
I think this rating has an asterisk though, because it's like
Okay.
if you're not a Marvel fan, like just you probably weren't gonna see it anyway. But like I'm recommending this to like superhero movie fans.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like if you didn't like the other Deadpools or you don't really enjoy Marvel movies or anything, this just isn't a movie for you. But this is great for those people that do lots of fan service, and it felt like sort of the Spider-Man sort of deal, where it's like, yeah, lots of fan service, but I'm here for it. And the more you've seen and known, the more you'll enjoy. Um, and they definitely catered at stuff, and I'm fine with that. I think it's a good movie.
It was a love letter to all superhero movies, not just Marvel, you know. So that's why this and Far From Home have landed with people so much more than all the other Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
I loved it.
Because it's
I
like
loved
it's
it. I
not
really
just
did.
guys, Marvel is so cool. It was more like guys, superheroes are fucking sick, guys.
Well, when they were first revealing those two other cameos, I'll still try and say spoiler free. But then obviously the Channing Tatum gambit comes in, and with the last two, I'm like, wait, did I forget? Did I
Yeah.
It's actually not
I
spoilers because
misremember?
they've straight up featured them
Yeah, I was
in
like, I think the
promotions
Deadpool
now.
like promotions have
Okay.
like shown like
So-
everything
Okay,
at this
so-
point.
They first showed, I think it was like Blade.
Yeah.
Then they showed Elektra.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I wonder who the third is. And then Channing Tatum comes out, and I'm like,
you were thinking Ben Affleck, right? I was
That
thinking
was one of 'em.
Daredevil. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
but then he comes out. So then now, for a second, I'm like, wait, did I forget about it? Was Channing Tatum? I was like sitting, I was like, strange,
it
because
was
they
like a
hit me
very
with like
niche
nostalgia.
Comic Con like
Yeah.
tease. Like
I learned the
that's-
lore later, but that's
Yeah.
why at first I was like, huh? But just a super fun movie. Interested to see if and how they implement all of it, because like that's gonna be interesting too. Is let's say Marvel brings Deadpool into some of the Marvel movies or like Avengers or something. What do you need, just like censor him? Because it'll have to be PG-13.
Yeah, like you can't really bring.
Maybe he has beeps. Like maybe they
That's what, or like they
at the
literally
would
just
be
show
kinda
off like
fun.
comic bubbles.
Like
That would be a fun bit for Deadpool for sure. But like also like you
Yeah.
can't really have. I'm interested to see how they bring it in because you can't have Deadpool without an R rating.
what if they just make the next Avengers rated R?
Oh, pfft. Well, I bet you are there, because this movie is now the highest grossing R-rated
That's
movie
what
of
I'm
all time.
saying. Like they might just be
But here's the sad thing. I guarantee you there's an executive going, this made $1 billion. If it was PG-13, it would have made $2 billion.
Oh my god!
Like
no,
there's some
100%.
dumb guy out there like,
100%.
I'm telling you, yeah. Instead of being like, wow.
This made it
probably
because
did
it was
better.
rated
Dipshit.
R.
Like
Yeah.
they will literally see what happened. Borderlands.
Now imagine if kids could have seen
Borderlands.
Like,
Borderlands is like, how did they let Borderlands be rated PG-13, and then flops, and they're like, I don't know, guys. Like maybe
How
like
could this have happened?
Please tell me-
neutering like
go ahead.
really gory, over the top, vulgar movies isn't the right play. But like, if this was PG-13, it would have made $2 billion. It's like,
Did any of you guys see Borderlands?
I did.
I did. I watched it
Wow.
at home.
You both did.
I did.
And I was. It wasn't even like a good bad. It was like a. It was like a man. I could walk out of this theater and would have probably saved my time. It was just super. Okay, there was this one scene where they
Just
were
to
like,
say it. Don't even
there-
say one
there's-
scene. It
there's-
comes out on streaming platforms.
I mean,
if people want to see it, they would see it.
I'm telling you because I couldn't fucking remember shit. Okay, there's this one
Okay.
scene where like, I don't know, fucking Jimbo Jenkins is like, you and what army? And then like the one right behind me, and I was like, it's 2024 and that's the best shit you could write.
I do
It's
remember that.
2024 and you
It was-
wrote that.
It was the leader of the Crimson
Yeah,
Red Army or
whatever.
whatever. And then there's a bunch of buggies show up at the top of a hill or something.
This one,
Like the Mulan shot of the Huns kind of thing.
Not even that cool. No.
no, it was a stupid
Because that part
bit.
is still
And
pretty
it was like, you really took the time to fill this 2004 bit in 2024. Like,
Well, it's sad because Borderlands is known for like its very good writing. It's quirky, like
Is it?
good, fun writing.
Is
Like,
it?
I mean, 1 and 2, I think.
2 is
Like,
known
I
for
think this
that.
one. But then, like, maybe
Um,
after that, yeah.
well, for
2
me,
Borderlands 3 does stink.
so I saw it opening night. Obviously, had to be there. Probably the only time there was other people in the theater.
I was gonna ask how
Uh,
many people there.
I think there's like 7 or 8 seats taken. Not many. Uh, and that was IMAX too. I'm telling you, bro, A-list, sick man. Free IMAX is. I don't regret A-list. Um, but so watched it. I was like, what would I give this? With my scale, assuming I don't give 0 out of 5s, I'd actually give it a 2 out of 5. I don't recommend it. But for me, this is a movie. And I think actually you would have enjoyed it more if you have never played Borderlands in your life.
True,
Probably.
probably.
As a Borderlands fan, 1 out of 5. Easily. But like all the Rotten Tomatoes coming out giving it like 0%. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that
It's
has
not
to be
that
safe.
bad.
Like, literally just like
What was worse, that or
unserviceable.
Jurassic Park?
I have to watch again, bro. I don't know why I hated that movie so, but man,
Well,
I would have put
hated
that
it too.
Jurassic Park at 1
I
out of 5.
hated that movie too.
I don't know, man, but like it just took me out. Like I finished Borderlands. That's my point. And I was like, I got taken out of sometime, but I wasn't like, I'm leaving the theater, you know?
Mhm.
But as a Borderlands fan, I would definitely give it 1 out of 5. But as like some random action comedy that like your dad might end up watching randomly on a plane, you might be like, that was okay. You know?
Yeah, that was a movie.
Yeah. Like I feel like it was that.
Like, who was this movie made for then? Like,
But
It was
yeah,
made.
that's
It was not made. It was literally made to cater to random people. It was meant to
literally.
gather widespread appeal, but I don't think a lot of execs realize like the only people who were ever going to go see this movie were people who were familiar with it, and then like word of mouth would have been like, this would have been amazing. That's exactly what happened with Last of Us. Like for the first couple of weeks, my dad did not know what the fuck Last of Us was. But everyone was like, this is so fucking awesome. And then everyone was like, holy shit, wait, this is amazing. And then my mom's like, oh my god, did you know that game Last of Us was actually based on a video game? And I was like, yeah, mom, I knew it was based on a video game. So it's
you guys
I
were
don't
telling me
know.
to get out of my room when I was playing it.
I feel like that's what's gone on so recently with video game adaptations. And then obviously Dungeons and
What Halo
Dragons.
should have done.
Then obviously Dungeons and Dragons didn't do amazing, but like
That's such a good movie though.
there was
I
an
love
audience
that
and
movie.
there's people who were like, dude, this is actually genuinely really good
Yeah.
and fun and awesome. And like the
Like-
movie is going to last longer
movie
than
was
its
sick.
time in theatrics, right? So it's like it did something versus like Borderlands, which is like went for the widespread appeal. There was
Hit nothing.
There was almost nothing of Borderlands in it besides like
Well,
the
I
aesthetic.
remember
setting,
they announced the
like,
cast.
yeah.
The aesthetic is about it, but like there's no like, oh wow guys, cool loot. Guys, look how crazy these guns are. It was just yeah, here's Claptrack and vaguely reminiscent characters from the Borderlands franchise.
Here's Kevin Hart as Roland, who's supposed to be this 6-foot something
I don't know.
soldier
It was-
that
It was giving very I wrote a script for this silly sci-fi movie, but it was never going to get greenlit, so let's attach Borderlands to it. Ooh, just got greenlit.
you got to think like studio saw the success of like Last of Us, Sonic the Hedgehog, and was like, just get us a movie IP. Like, we just need some sort of like video game IP
Well,
movie
yeah.
thing.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, maybe you can look it up. The original script was actually written by, I think, the guy that ended up helping Last of Us or something, like some other video game adaptation that like was actually really well received. And apparently he had a script, he finished it, was proud of it, like 2019 or 2020. Then they had someone come in 2021 who has directed, like I remember Claire's listing them, and as far as I remember, just flops. For like, why would you bring this person in? Apparently they rewrote it. That's the Borderlands movie we got.
Awesome.
So who knows what it was like before? I guarantee though, no matter what that first script was, it had to have been better than this.
Yeah, no doubt.
But for me, the Borderlands movie, one, again, if you know Borderlands, they just completely change some of the characters, or like the main character is supposed to be Lilith, Siren. They just kind of just make that up, and then Roland. This was the weird thing. First off, you go for Kevin Hart. Okay. Weird choice. Roland's supposed to be this stoic guy, but you choose funny guy Kevin Hart. Okay. Okay, weirder choice. You choose funny guy Kevin Hart and you don't let him be funny. I think I would have rather them just made him funny guy Kevin
He's
Hart.
trying to
Yeah,
be
he
like
wasn't
serious.
even. He was.
Yeah, he tries to just be like stoic soldier guy.
Roland. Yeah.
And
Weird.
doesn't work, I don't think. Like, who knows? I'm not saying Kevin Hart can't do serious roles, but he certainly wasn't put in the environment to thrive.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't handed the best
I love him in
material
Soul
to
It's hard
help.
for me to blame the actors for sure, because like,
Oh, 100%.
because like you could tell, like, Kate Blanchett, you know, you could tell she was trying, and I respect it. And obviously, Jack Black puts his Jack Black Gussie into everything, right? But like, it's like you could like the people who like want to make it good can only go so far when the ingredients they've been given are not great. Like, yeah, I can make a taco, and I could passionately make that taco. But like, if all the ingredients are like, yeah, this beef is like a couple months old. This lettuce, it's been sitting out in the sun for a couple hours. Yeah, these are really stale tortilla shells. Like, I'm gonna put my all into making that taco, but it's still gonna turn out like shit.
Like Ramsey is still gonna have trouble,
Yeah, exactly.
making a good meal out of that. The one thing that really took me out of it was, speaking of like Kate Blanchett, you had Mad Moxie and the old scientist lady whose name just escaped me.
Yeah, she
I don't
was
know.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
she's playing a very young character.
Yeah, they like
who
are
and
talking to Kate Blanchett about like, I remember when you were a kid and your mom, and like trying to talk about, bro, they look like the same age.
yeah, you're all the same age. Be so for real right now.
Like Mad Moxie might be younger, and they're trying to talk about how like, well, I remember when you were a kid, as if they're like 30 years older or something.
It's like you're
There's
it's Jamie Lee
Curtis.
Curtis,
Yeah.
guys. Jamie Lee Curtis is older than you, Moxie. Be so for real right now.
Oh, I thought you guys were looking for the. I knew it was Jamie the Character. I thought you were looking for like
Yeah.
the character's
Well,
name.
yeah, I can't remember the character name either. But
Yeah, I forgot to. But she's
I
a
don't know if
young
I can-
character in the game.
So there was it's funny you guys talk about the Mad Moxie thing. So I don't know if I can talk about it, but I'll talk about it. Fuck it. Voodoo Ranger was supposed to have like a collab with Borderlands, and the beer was going to be featured in the bar in Mad Moxie. And this was like a whole this was planned like 2 years ago. And like it was almost to the point where like they were going to send some of the Voodoo Ranger creators to like the premiere in LA. And then about like 8 months ago, they were just like, hey, like the Borderlands thing fell through, not happening anymore. Like, sorry guys. And I was like,
They're
oh,
probably
that's
happy
kind of
about
like
it now.
weird. And it was like really like out of the blue. Because it was like one day we're doing this, and then the next day it was like we're not doing this. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I wonder what happened. And
happened?
I wonder if any of that plays into it. That it was really bad.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
mean-
surprised if they went to the premiere and they're or they like got like a preview screenings, and they're like, we do not want to be associated with this.
Because the thing I'll give it credit to, it did get a chuckle out of me a very few times for like voice lines and stuff. I was like, ha, or like
There's
that's
definitely
pretty funny.
a moment or two I was like, huh, eh.
But very few and far between. I both liked and hated Jack Black's claptrap. They just
Man.
made him talk nonstop. Like, I get it, but it was to the point where it's like,
Jack,
if he's
we need you
in
to
the
be wacky.
scene, yeah, if he's in the scene, nonstop, not like to the point where like you
Shut up,
can't grow to
Claptrap.
love the character. He just starts annoying you. So I especially enjoyed him. Like, I think Jack Black did a good job, and he Claptrap had some funny moments. Unironically, I think Krieg was played well. He just big meathead, and he just said some game voice lines from the game, and I'm like, ha, I understand that reference. Pretty hard to mess that up. So way to go, Krieg.
What was the story? Like, is it the same Borderlands 1 story where it's like, hey, we need to find the vault that has all this cool loot in it. Let's
Well,
go
you
find the vault.
Yeah, you want to find the vault. Well, actually, no. Lilith's whole thing, she doesn't want to find the vault. She's not even a vault hunter. She's a bounty hunter or something. And then it all comes back to she has to go to this to find Atlas's stolen daughter. Roland stole their daughter, who is Tiny Tina. But then again, I guess spoilers if you, but like I'm usually not
No
spoilers.
one
But
is
like,
seeing this. Just
yeah.
talk about it.
So, Tiny Tina isn't real. Turns out it's a clone that Atlas of the Atlas Corporation, the big president, who's like one of the richest in the galaxy, keeps making because she's supposed to have some Iridian blood, or like she was made from some Iridian artifact that's supposed to give her this power because there's this prophecy that this chosen Iridian woman or whatever girl will show up and is the key to opening up the vault.
What?
And so Tiny Tina, like he keeps making Tiny Tina clones because he found this Iridian artifact, and this one's supposed to be the one that will like open up the vault. Roland shows up, busting out of the Crimson to break her out. We don't really know why. I don't remember getting backstory as to why he decides to defect and break her out of space
This
prison
is
and all
the
that stuff. I don't
story?
know.
Like,
Yeah, and then
what?
Krieg ended up being a prisoner in there that breaks out, and is friends with Tiny Tina, I guess. And so Roland's like, "You want to
The
join us,
real
Krieg?" And
Tiny
Krieg's
Tina,
like,
not the clone Tiny Tina.
well, no, there is no real Tiny Tina. Tiny Tina is just a clone in this game, I guess. Like she was just
Oh.
created from DNA, like you're reading stuff, and just
Oh.
yeah, she's been
Oh.
bred and keeps being like remade to try and find the right
What?
version. Yeah, and then they go down to Pandora because I think it's just below them to hide. And then Lilith is a bounty hunter and gets contacted by Atlas saying, "Hey, I need you to get my daughter. I'll give you money." Blah blah blah. He's like,
I need to write
"Ah,
scripts.
yeah, and
Like,
I don't want." She's like, "You got to go to Pandora." And she's, "I ain't going to Pandora." And then
Pandora's a
he's
bad
like,
place.
"How about this much?" And she goes, "I think I can go to Pandora." And then they go to Pandora, uh, and she's just the whole like, "I don't want to be here." And then Claptrap wakes up as soon as she lands because Claptrap has been programmed to reawaken when Lilith shows up because it's Lilith's robot made by her mom, apparently, that is there to service her, to help her
That
fulfill
just
her
happened to
destiny.
be there where she landed? Like,
No, he just woke up at some point as soon as he landed, like activated his whatever, and then
uh-huh.
eventually they find each other. And then she just keeps shooting him. And she's like, "Leave me alone." He's like, "Well, I can't." Even though the funny part for me was Jack Black's Claptrap. He was programmed and like had to help Lilith,
Yeah.
but his voice lines were just continuously like, "Hope you die." Just kidding, but like that would be cool because he like
Yeah.
didn't like her. He's like, "You're a jerk." So like, if you die, my programming gets like I'm free.
Yeah.
So there's like a couple funny moments in that, but otherwise, yeah, it goes to find her, and then eventually finds him, and is going to turn him in. But then, of course, Lauren's like, "Oh, but here's my sob story or whatever," and also like they're coming for me, and I don't want to go with my daddy, and he's not really my daddy, and all. And
Whoa. I've
then
been a
so
bounty
then
hunter
she's
this whole
like,
time. I'm changing my
yeah, essentially she's like, "All right,
thinking.
fine, come with me. I don't want this money now." And then they run from all the people, and then that's pretty much the crux of it. And then eventually they find Tanis. And she's like, "Oh my God, Lilith, what's up?" Anyway, I've been, researching Iridian stuff, and in order to open the vault, there are these keys, and you have to find two of the
Okay,
keys.
so here we go. Like now,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
So they have
yeah.
to like, or find like three, and I think she already has like one, so they have to go find
Yeah.
two. And one of them is randomly in like some sewers with a whole bunch of mutants, or psychos, and they get that, and then they leave. Uh, and then I forget like the third key, but I think they literally just like stumble upon it. Oh no. The second key, they're looking through a warehouse. It's supposed to be like stored around. They're like, "Oh, I wonder where it is." And giant boxes. They're like, "How will we ever find it?" And then Kate Blanchett's like, "Oh, here it is." And the third one, I forget. It was pretty forgettable. Like they get him pretty
Yeah.
quick. And then they're like, "All right, well now we got to find the vault." Uh, but while she does that, like Claptrap freaks out and there's like, "Blah," and turns out they like found
It's
her
like,
her
wow.
old home. Yeah, and then he like lands on his back and plays a hologram of his mom and is like,
Oh.
"Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you
Okay.
please,"
Yeah.
But instead it was her mom who was about to die, but it's the last thing like, "Lilith, I'm sorry I had to let you go, but like I couldn't let them get you after they knew who you were and blah 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 and all sort of stuff."
Whoa.
And it's like, whoa.
Well, a lot of deep
And
character like changes
yeah.
here.
So they do that, and then um she's like, "Oh, I got to do this," and some about like a fire phoenix and some symbol she was drawn. She's like, "Oh, I got to go here." I forget how they even realized where the vault location is. Uh, Clear it wasn't that important. And then they literally just like stumble upon it. And they step on it, like, "Whoa, here's the vault." And this is when Atlas shows up. Then he's like, "Thanks for doing all the work for me." He's like, "Kill him," you know.
Yeah.
And like, grab the girl. She's the key. Like, open it up. So they go to open it up, and they have like the keys, and then her, and she's supposed to be the key. Opens it and doesn't work. Whoa, what? Why not? Like, what? The hero
Yeah,
of
wait, what?
Pandora and the siren. She's
It's
supposed
Lilith.
to save us. Who could have seen it? Plot twist. Lilith shows up. It's me. Phases. I'm the siren. Who could have seen this coming? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my
Lilith was
God,
the
it's like
siren
she's
this
the
entire
siren.
time?
Yeah.
Wow.
No way.
Couldn't have seen that coming. I don't know, randomly doing stuff.
So wait, in
And
that movie,
then-
she doesn't do any like siren abilities until the
No,
very end.
because she doesn't know she's a siren. Because that's also the whole thing too. That's supposed to be the thing. But as a Borderlands person, literally the first moment, I'm like, oh,
Hey, you're a siren. You have these abilities.
the whole prophecy's like there will be this thing that's like a siren with magic and a fire hawk, and it's like, well, I wonder who that is. So yeah, they
That's
changed
what you
it.
mean.
So
This movie's not made for Borderlands fans. Because if
Yeah.
you're like a normie that doesn't know, that's whoa, okay.
I can't imagine the reveal is that interesting anyway. But like the most
Yeah.
obvious reveal, then they open up the portal thing,
Giant
and then
monster.
she throws Atlas in there, and the giant monster eats Atlas. Then she gets out, and then the dumbest ending. Like my biggest problem might be the ending. So they do
Okay.
that. Atlas is gone.
Wow, this was very Borderlands.
Yay, we saved Pandora. Then they go to the city, and literally, city celebrating fireworks. It's nighttime.
Okay,
Everybody's
it's like
literally
the end
celebrating.
of the Return
Yeah.
of the Jedi or whatever. Like we're all
Literally,
having
they're
fun.
just on the rooftop, like, guys, we did it. Fireworks. Wow, this is so cool. Roll credits. That was the movie. That was the entire movie. Actually. Yeah, I just gave you the whole movie.
Here's $115 million. Go make that. Go
Yeah.
make that.
Like, the most
So they did
generic-
not leave it open-ended for a Borderlands 2 movie. Let's just say that.
I guess they could if they want, but like, I mean, it wrapped up to where there was no like, oh, this is. I mean, like, could they make one? Yeah, will they? Especially after this, I don't think so.
We did it, guys. We saved the world.
Yeah, I was like, this is wow. Anyway, it was just like so safe, but that's what I'm saying. It was a serviceable movie, and that there was a start and end. And again, if you're not a Borderlands fan, I'd like to think you'd be like, that was okay, I guess. I don't know. As a
All right,
Borderlands fan, I
question.
hated it, but
Question for the both of you that saw it.
Yep.
Is it the worst video game movie you have ever seen?
Yes,
uh,
pretty easily.
still hate that Dragon Ball one more.
Oh,
The
that's
live
a,
action Dragon
well,
Ball.
That's not a
But
video game. That's more like
that's-
a anime
that's pop
to.
culture. Yeah.
I would
Okay,
You
say
saw
Blue-
you saw Assassin's Creed, right, Christian? Is it worse than Assassin's Creed?
That's tough because like at least Borderlands had some like I don't know, man. Like Assassin's Creed, if I'm trying to remember, it just felt like a random movie, and they would have just slapped the name like Assassin's
never
Creed
seen
on it.
Like,
I'm trying to remember, or like maybe the Max Payne Mark Wahlberg movie. That one was pretty bad. Where again, because like at least this Borderlands movie, one, I'll give it credit. Like I enjoyed the set pieces and the aesthetic. Like it looked like Borderlands. That was cool. It was cool seeing Borderlands like on the big screen. But like some of the other movies, yeah, it's just like just by name. But I don't know. It's definitely bottom 3 at least. I guess I'd have to go through it, but
I think it's the worst because while they did get the aesthetic mostly correct, I would rather they just had a bunch of random ass characters because this was like a weird. It just felt like they didn't know what they wanted to do with the characters at all. And so I'm just watching Kate Blanchett play Kate Blanchett and Kevin Hart play like
Kevin Hart trying really hard not to play
Kevin Hart really trying so hard not to play Kevin Hart. And all these people just playing normal ass just themselves. And Jack Black trying to play Claptrap, but really just playing Jack Black. And
I did like the Tiny Tina casting. I don't think your character was interesting, but like
Tiny Tina was okay.
if it were a good movie, I think I would have liked the casting.
Tiny Tina was okay, and I do like that Kate Blanchett was trying, but like it was just nothing happening. It was just nothing. Like nothing was ever happening. I felt like I watched the movie and nothing happened. I just felt like I didn't watch anything. I felt like I ate like I felt like I ate unseasoned tofu after I was done watching the Borderlands movie. And at least
Did you
with bad
guys-
movies, I feel something. At least with bad movies, I'm like, oh, that was so fucking bad. This one, I was just like, man, like, I just wasted
I wasted my time.
like an hour and 15 for what? Like,
At
that's
least it's not that long though. Like at least it seems like kind of short.
Yeah.
Like at least it
Thankfully,
doesn't-
it's like an hour 50 or something. I was like, thank God, because
what's
like
worse?
they could have given more backstory, but if that movie was any longer, it's not helping.
What's worse, Borderlands or Uncharted?
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
Tom Holland is a really likable
Uncharted.
lead. Even though he is not Nathan Drake, he's likable.
I think we talked about it. The Uncharted movie reminded me of what I was just explaining. Like, it was a artifact explore sort of tomb raiding movie, and they just called it Uncharted. So it was
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Like, it was just a good as an Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a big fan of
yeah.
stuff, I imagine you'd be like, "What the fudge is this?" But as just like action movie with some big stars that go looking for
It was a
artifacts and
pretty
things, like
decent action movie, yeah.
that's okay. Yeah.
They gave Tom Holland enough to work with that Tom Holland stayed likable.
It's just it's sad that, you know, in today's, you know, we got movies like Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, we got other, you know, IPs that are doing really well in entertainment. And we still have like video games that come out in some sort of like other medium and they're just awful.
I gotta say,
Just awful.
I gotta say, video game TV has really been picking up the pace. I mean,
Not Halo.
not Halo.
Yeah, let's
but-
not that.
But let's just clear that up.
But there's definitely we still have a way to go when it comes to video game movies. Because the only one I could think of recent memory that was genuinely really great is Sonic and Sonic 2, which it's a miracle given given how Sonic started that we got a great movie out of it. But Sonic is also has like such a deep cultural root that it was probably always going to do pretty decent. It just helped that it was a pretty good movie. And then, yeah, I don't know. I feel like TV, it's hard to say video game adaptations have been bad. There's definitely some bad ones. Halo. But like we've gotten genuinely amazing stuff like Arcane. I don't play League of Legends, but Arcane was great. We got the Cyberpunk anime, which was amazing. We got Last of Us, incredible. Like so while the video games have not been great, it's, you know, at least we were getting some fantastic video game TV adaptations at least.
When the timing for Borderlands 2 is weird to me. Like, this must have gotten caught up in something. Because, like, 2016, 2017 kind of makes sense. Maybe 2018. Maybe near
Yeah.
but 2024?
In terms of like coming out now,
2024,
like,
6 years after
Yeah,
3, like
who's talking about it? It's not, like,
Yeah.
culturally relevant right now.
did you see they announced
Borderlands 4?
Yeah.
Right.
wah, wah,
But, like-
Yeah,
wah.
like
It felt
I
like
think
they were
it
trying to
maybe to-
capitalize on
Yeah.
it felt like one of two things. And it's probably only one of these two things. One, they were like, "Oh, this is going to be so hype after the movie came out and people loved it." Or two, guys, the movie did so bad. We need a little something. We need to give them something. And then
Borderlands
4,
name needs some W.
but no matter what, it was like just, "Hey, you think you're the shit? You ain't even the
I kept,
part."
I saw like Randy, whatever his name is, like
Get the
like,
why the
quote,
fuck is
retweeting
Randy still
people, like-
around? Go in a hole and never come out, man. Like,
He's still, I guess, the largest stake owner, though, of Gearbox, so stuck with him. Yeah, he certainly wasn't handling the criticism that well. And then also still somehow found a way to make it like self
guys, you wanna see bad trick?
yeah,
You see
it was
Magic Trick,
somehow
guys?
self-serving and about him somehow. I don't know.
Guys, wanna see magic trick? Guys, check out my magic trick.
I remember sitting in the audience for that. Like, it's kind of weird. Like,
Randy, what's she doing?
Randy, I just came here to see like the gameplay. Like, I just want to see Handsome Jack.
Randy's like
Oh, wait
trying
a
to be Randy's trying so hard to be Elon coded, and it's like that's not who you want to be coded, man. Like,
It is
Um,
true. He is like that.
I also saw Alien Romulus.
Oh
I
yeah.
heard
Um,
so much good shit.
Yeah.
not
I hear
even.
it.
I'm not. I don't even know if I've seen all the Alien movies actually, and if I have once, I don't
I've seen
know.
the OG. That's it. Like I've never
Yeah, I'm
seen
definitely not
anything
like
after that.
crazy. No, you saw Prometheus.
Alien.
Um,
Eh.
but so like,
You see Alien vs
so
Predator?
I have seen that one.
Okay.
But so like, that's my back. Like, I don't have any like dog in this race with Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Solid 4 out of 5. Great.
Ah.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely recommend you see it. Um,
Was it actually genuinely
Very
like
happy with it.
horror? Like it captured that like horror sense that like the first one does?
It did. I think so.
Good. That's
Um,
sick.
yeah. So I was really happy with that one. I'm trying to think if I've seen any others since the break. I don't think so. But yeah,
Nothing to
the
come.
only flop was obviously Borderlands, and that one
Yeah.
too. I just went because I was like, man, this is getting so poorly reviewed.
I gotta see
I
it.
got to, yeah. And so that's why I walked away. I think also I was expecting just absolute dog water because when it was like it's at like 6% after 30 reviews, I'm like, this must not even like be a movie. Like this has to like this must be so bad, but it's not that bad, which is why it came out. And I'm like 6%, man. Like I don't know how
Is it the
people
worst
judge
movie
movies,
of the
I
year?
guess, but of the year. Well, apparently I think The Crow. No, I think The Crow's now a little bit higher. Apparently The Crow came out to really bad reviews though. But it certainly has to be up there. I feel like there's been another flop this year though, but oh wait,
Yeah, I
didn't
mean
Madam
like
Web come out this year?
oh, I think so.
I actually just saw that on
God,
Netflix with
Alex
Claire.
is going crazy.
Um, we watched it, and that was definitely a movie of all time as well. It's not good. Not good.
We ran a little long today, so we won't be
That's
able
my
to
bad.
get to any. No, dude. Like, well, I mean, I think a lot of people wanted to hear about how it was going with you and everything like that.
And this is a call for
Uh,
more Q&A
yeah, exactly.
because me and Rob got through 'em.
Yeah. So next week, we'll talk a little bit about some Pokemon sparking, surging sparks and stuff like that. Some groomsmen gifts, some wedding stuff as well as we get a little bit closer. Mr. Fruit, it's great to have you back. It's never the same
Good to be
without
back.
you. We will see you guys next week for some more talking about some stuff. Peace out.
Deuces.